most people are sleeping through life. You mentioned spirituality. I'm very spiritual. I'm trying to have a spiritual understanding that people in this country are asleep. They are the sheep. They are so overwhelmed with the day-to-day, with things happening in the world. How are they going to find the strength, the courage to rise? 90% of them aren't really aware of what's even really going on.
Sort of a version of what this.
Everybody in this room, more than likely, is much more aware than 95% of Americans. How do you wake people up who are in a deep sleep to even make them aware that this situation exists? And then the real work starts. How do we wake people up?
Okay, so that's a great question.
And we have very little time.
Yeah, we have no time. Yeah. So here's my answer from having looked at other movements. And this is why the left's analysis, which is so depressing, is not helpful. Because if you look at history, great movements for positive social change have come about when a handful of people were really committed and dedicated. And then, again, you know, on a material plane, people get inspired, they see what's possible, I mean, basically, you're the answer. Because I actually do believe that if each of us goes out here tonight, you know, Daniel Ellsberg said that he was moved by some civil rights activist he knew who just committed her whole self. And that he read Thoreau, and Thoreau said, are you going to commit your whole influence to what you believe? Not just some part of it, but your whole self. And then he risked 120 years in prison to bring us the Pentagon Papers and tell the truth about the war. So I do believe that if you go out there and you commit your whole self to this task and to your conviction too, and this is where the civil rights movement is so important. Martin Luther King believed that these people who were the most disempowered, poorest, most ignored people in America, each of them had this spark of the divine and was capable of great, great heroism. And because he believed it, and organized accordingly, that's what happened. And then the whole country was kind of taken aback, I'm getting chills again, by looking at these ordinary people engaging in heroism. You know, they had the media didn't like them, you know, they didn't have the elite on their side, but they went up against the hoses, and they went up against the dogs, and they believed in their own reality and their own justice. So that's what we've lost. It's not that these people aren't paying attention to us, you know, it doesn't matter, they didn't pay attention to the people who brought down the wall in East Germany. What matters is that we start to believe in our own reality and our own capacity as agents of massive change. And then when you do that and you act accordingly, and this is where I can't explain it, to me it's more of a spiritual principle, you sort of light that fire in other people or blow that flame in other people. I've seen it again and again in history, and then millions of people, then what happens is so beautiful, because people are scared to speak up when it's just isolated voices. That's a dangerous moment. But what I'm seeing now is, like in this YouTube video, I was the first person I heard say in public, they have committed crimes, they need to be prosecuted and put behind bars. And it was like shocking the first time I said it. But now the crimes meme is in the air, and you know, CNN was like, this is illegal, this is illegal. And then you're starting to see the spies peeling away with the new, you know, national intelligence estimate. We're not going to lie this time. You know, you're starting to see people kind of moving away, you know, speaking out here, here, here. And then when that happens, bullies and would-be fascists can't maintain their hold anymore. So it's up to you and all of us.